Okay, we're gonna start with using of the shading to show illusion of the 3D objects on the 2D objects. We are using of the technique, the name is chiaroscuro, and it means light and dark. In this technique we are using of the light and dark and shading to make one objects look like 3D. For example, just thinking that this is a circle, okay, this circle is 2D, and so if I want to make it completely 3D, I'm using of dark and medium and light. I have to think about where we have the light. For example, this is the light direction, then this part is lighter. I'm using of the newsprint and I'm using of the wine charcoal. Make it smaller and use of I'm using of the side of this. Then some things that it's here is I'm using of the dark here. Okay, the darkest color that I have, I'm using of the medium here, and this part gonna be very light. You see, it's not gonna be 3D until I blend the dark to medium. You see, I'm coming and blending it, because if I have just a line between them, it's gonna not make it like a 3D. It's gonna be like an abstract and pattern on this. Then be sure when you're using of this technique, blend dark to medium and medium to light. Then is that I can add more darkness to the part that we need it or whatever that we want. But this is the chiaroscuro. Remember that objects are not always like we have dark in one side and light on the other side. Sometimes we have light in both sides, the darkest part is here. Sometimes the light and darks changing because the shape is more complicated, they're changing their directions. Most important part, if you want to make I make just a vase here. When you want to create the dark and light, you have to think that you're really touching your objects, going with the direction of this, feel the form, and that's gonna make it more realistic. So then don't make a darkness with a straight line here. It has to be curved. If I have a curve here, make it curved. Curve doesn't make sense here. Then when I'm making the darkness here, I know that it's a more straight lines here. So I'm gonna decide to have, for example, again, light here and dark here. A lot of time you cannot see it like that, okay? But as an artist, you have to decide to say, I have to make dark, medium, and light. Then I decide that the exaggerating light and exaggerating the dark side. Then for your object, even you cannot see it, you have to create these ones. So I'm gonna make the light here, because light's coming here. This part's gonna be light, but it's an object which has a curve here. Then this part's gonna be dark too. Then I'm making this part dark and I'm making this part dark. Remember that in this technique, again, you have to go with the direction of the form that you have. Then this is the darkest part that I want to create. I want to come with the dark on the neck of this, but it's mostly straight darkness, and I want to have my medium. See, you can say this is the dark part that I can see in my object. Actually I have it. This is the part that it's medium part, okay, and this is the light part. Then and from the dark to medium, I'm gradually make it lighter, not a line between. It's a transition between dark and medium and light. It's not like you're just having a border between them. And the lightest part. Oh, okay, if you see something's happening like this line, I'm using of my chamois here to get rid of the unwanted things that happening. And this part's gonna be the lightest part. In the lightest part, I don't want to have this dark line. I want to just raise it and keep it with the lightness that I want to see here. It's really simple shape. I want your using of the simple shape and create first like that, then it's gonna be very light and dark, and I'm sorry, it's gonna be very simple shapes, and we're gonna just focus in dark, medium and light. I don't want you're going to add the details on this. The first thing is just look at your object and you feel that you can make it in the 3D illusion.